I've left my girlfriend at home and she never watches anything I put on the internet, so I'm going to tell you about some arguments we've had, but this time I'm going to fucking win. Yeah, feeling pretty confident now she's not here and I get to decide what she said. Yeah, we don't argue a lot, we get on very well, me and the missus, but we do have a main argument that has been going on for fucking ages. Our main argument is because she is vegetarian. And look, that wouldn't be a problem on its own as far as I'm concerned. If she wants to ruin her dinner, fucking go for it, right? But the problem is she is desperate for me to be vegetarian as well. And look, I am aware I already look vegetarian, right? Yeah, it's all right, you can laugh at that. I know what I look like. I look like I'm about to overcharge you for a latte. Yeah, have you ever been more sure a man collected vinyl in your life? No. Well, look, I told her I might try being vegetarian, might give it a go. I'm up for anything. But before I do, I want one good reason why I should. That's all I'm asking. She can't even manage that. All she's like, right, the reason I think you should be vegetarian is if an animal could talk, you wouldn't want to kill it, would you? If an animal could talk, you wouldn't be able to kill it. And I was like, I regularly want to kill people. Because they've spoken to me. What makes you think a cow's going to be any fucking different? Like, realistically, what is a sheep going to say to me that makes its children not delicious in a kebab? Right? Grow the fuck up. She kept going as well. She's like, right, if you're going to keep eating meat, you shouldn't eat pork. You should stop eating pigs because pigs are the most intelligent animals. Pigs are so clever. I was like, they're fucking not. No, pigs are not clever, are they? Because if they were, they wouldn't have constructed themselves almost entirely out of bacon. Right? Think about it. It's one of the most delicious substances known to man. What are they doing? Like, imagine if you stabbed a pig and broccoli fell out, you wouldn't do it twice, would you? You'd leave them alone. Bad thinking, piggies. Wise the fuck up. They're definitely not smart. I'm from North Yorkshire, you know. Like, North Yorkshire, all it is pig farm, my house, pig farm. That's all it fucking is. So I know they're not smart. They're definitely not, because on your average pig farm, there's about 5,000 pigs and one farmer. If you're that smart, team up, take over. Right, George Orwell wrote them a handbook on how to do it. Right, but none of them have read it because they're too fucking thick. She kept going, though, kept coming up with new strategies. She's like, right, if that doesn't work, what I'll do is I'll show you footage from the abattoir. And when you see how horrible it is, all the things that happen inside the slaughterhouse, that'll change your mind. I was like, I don't think it's gonna. Because as it is, I didn't think they were going in there for a fucking spa weekend anyway. Like, I didn't think they were getting a lovely bit of massage followed by some Reiki healing. No, I've seen the shape of a pig and I've seen the shape of a sausage. I reckon whatever made that into that was probably fairly severe. There's a little clue in the name as well, isn't there? It's called a slaughterhouse, not the fucking tickle factory. I reckon whoever they got that big pig inside that tiny sausage skin, they were probably using something a little stronger than verbal persuasion. Right, she showed me this video, and it was like pigs on hooks going into the abattoir, like, and she's like, doesn't that make you feel sad? And I was like, honestly, it's made me fucking starving. Oh, I was watching it like a lobster tank in a fancy restaurant. It's like, oh, third from the back looks juicy, he's still wriggling. I'll have a chop off him, thank you very much, while he's still fresh. Which did not calm the argument down. Months of it, kept rumbling on. Eventually, I had to put a stop to it, you know. I had to stand up for myself. I had to draw a line in the sand and maintain my pride as a man. I was like, look, right, me and you are perfect equals in this relationship. But what that means is sometimes there'll be things about each other we might not necessarily have chosen, but we have to learn to live with. And this is one of them. I'm a good Yorkshire boy. I've grown up on meat. I've always loved meat, and I always will love meat. Yeah. And what I'm trying to tell you, good people, as half of you will already fucking know, I am now a vegetarian. Yeah, fucking gutted when I found out I was veggie. Yeah, no, found out is the right word, by the way. I didn't choose it, it happened to me. I was fucking livid, right? The long version of the story is we were having that argument over lockdown, but she was winning by a fucking mile. I thought of all my responses to about 6 to 8 months after we'd had the fucking argument. She was kicking me ass, planted the idea in me head, and then because I was so bored over lockdown, what I decided to do for my first day of freedom when they finally let us out was I went to the Sea Life Centre and took a shitload of acid. Yeah, really bonded with an octopus. Made it quite hard to eat meat after that, to be honest with you, when someone you've previously considered as calamari is now your future best man. And I was on my way home for that, and I was like, oh, fucking hell, don't be vegetarian, it's fucking lame. You're already this much of a wank, you don't need anything more. I was like, right, no, I'll shake it off. What I'll do is I'll go to the supermarket, I'll buy some sausages, that'll annoy me missus, and somehow that'll mean I've won. Didn't fucking work. I went into Tesco's, picked up a pack of Richmond, and immediately got this, like, Vietnam flashback to those wriggling pigs. I was like, ah, shit, I'm vegetarian, aren't I? Best fuck off to the veggie aisle, see if they got any Linda McCartney testicles I can strap to myself. Fucking gutted. Have we got any in, by the way? Any veggies or vegans about anywhere? No. Fucking no. Thank you for doing the survey, mate. No, to be fair, don't worry, I'm not going to preach to you. I couldn't give a shit what you people are eating. I was just checking there was no fucking vegans in, because fuck them cunts. No, honestly, I know you meat eaters think vegans are annoying. You don't know the fucking half of it. They're so much worse to vegetarians, because they smell weakness. Yeah, I've never met a vegan and had them go, oh, vegetarian, well done. No, every time it's like, well, why aren't you fucking vegan then? Why are you only vegetarian? Why aren't you vegan? And I'll let all of you know right now why I'm veggie, not vegan. You can see if you think it's fair, right? The reason I'm veggie and not vegan is I don't want animals to die, but I don't mind if they have a job. Yeah, that's fair enough, isn't it? Yeah, because, like, vegans complain about the conditions that cows get milked in. It's like, have you seen a fucking call centre? Well, I used to work for 9 hours a day on the phone selling gas and electricity. I would have killed for a machine to suck my tits all afternoon. Fucking moaning. Well, it's that and the cheese, I'll be honest with you. If you tried vegan cheese, fuck me, that stuff is a hate crime. Awful shit. And because I'm a gullible dickhead, every 6 months a vegan will trick me into trying their cheese. And it goes the same way every time. They're like, no, there's new cheese. It's amazing. You'd never tell the difference. It's made of almonds. It's incredible. And every time I taste it, and every time it tastes like someone wanked off a horse then left it in the sun. Don't ask me how I know. What a fucking weekend that was. No, but look, like, I know vegans are annoying. They do get a hard rep because they are pricks. But in general, I think there's worse dietary requirements out there nowadays. There's loads worse. There's all these new modern ones that are way more annoying. Tell you my least favourite dietary requirement, the gluten intolerant. Ugh. Got no time for gluten-free people. Can't stand them. I'm sorry, if bread can kill you, you deserve to die. That is just a joke, by the way. If anyone is a celiac, please don't cry. That genuinely happened at a show recently. Yeah, I said that. Yeah, I said that, which I think is quite clearly a silly thing to say. A woman on the third row stood up and went, no, I've just been diagnosed with celiac disease. It's too soon to joke about gluten. Which is already objectively a fucking hilarious sentence as it is. And I did feel bad she was crying, but like, I felt bad for about 5 minutes until after the show, I Googled celiac disease just to double check it wasn't more serious than I first thought. And nah, it's not that big a deal. All celiac disease means is if you buy the wrong type of bread, you have a runny poo. Couldn't give a fuck. Yeah, she can get shagged in a dribbly ass for all I give a fuck. And to be fair, if you are going to offend anyone at a gig, make sure it's someone you can fight off with a bagel. No, there's way worse, though. I don't know who, like, obviously, like, I'm fucking around with them. Like, tell you what, recently, right, I asked in the audience, anyone veggie, vegan? A guy put his hand up, and I go, which one are you, mate? And he goes, oh, I'm neither of those. I am plant-based. What the fuck is plant-based, mate? Are you half a cabbage cunt? And he goes, no, what plant-based means is I eat like a vegan, but the word vegan has political connotations that I don't ascribe to, so I am plant-based. I was like, mate, how in the fuck did you find a way to make being vegan even more cunty? Like, how have you done it? It's fucking incredible, isn't it? I thought we were at 100% already. The man's a pioneer, if you think about it. It's fucking amazing. It's like turning up at a KKK rally with a plan to make it more racist. Like, fucking hell, who looks at vegans and goes, not pretentious enough? No. Step aside, vegans. Plant-based is here. Fucking cunt-based knob. Tell you what, the pescatarians, they can fuck off. Do you know who they are, the peskies? They're the ones who are like, I don't eat meat, but I do eat fish, yeah? I don't eat meat, but I will have a bit of fish, because I care about animals, unless they're wet. Now, what kind of fucking ethics is that? If one of them sees a cow in a swimming pool, is it burger night tonight? Fucking useless dicks. No, I'll tell you the actual worst one, though. Actual worst one, definitely. I only found out about these about 3 weeks ago. My head fell clean off. Have you heard of flexitarians? Fuck me. If you don't know what these are, a flexitarian is someone who is vegetarian sometimes. You know, like every other fucker on the planet. Like, even the most committed carnivore will occasionally take breaks between mouthfuls where they are briefly vegetarian. You don't get a fucking name for that. You don't get to join the club because you postponed eating meat. That's bullshit. That's like going, no, I'm actually a flexophile. I only fuck kids sometimes. Sometimes. The rest of the time, adult, I'm flexy. I don't know, like, if you just permit me 5 seconds of sincerity, I will go back to the jokes in a minute. I do just want to say, I know it's a very hard time for a lot of people at the moment, and I think particularly members of the LGBT community, and I know we've got a lot in our fan base, so if you are from that community, I hope you feel very welcomed and safe. It's very good to have you here. And I know some of you will have very harrowing coming out stories in your past, and I just want to say to you, as a Yorkshireman who came out as vegetarian to his grandma, frankly, you don't know shit. To turn down my grand's roast beef over Sunday dinner. It was fucking brutal. I might as well have just taken a run up and punted her clean in the fanny. Honestly, I would have loved to tell me granddad I'd been sucking cock that afternoon. It would have been so much easier. He would have been delighted. He would have been like, oh, thank fuck. For a second, I thought you were going to say you were vegetarian. Oh, I can show me face down the pub now. You're only getting bummed. I don't know. Much more scared of my grandma than my granddad, though. I think that's a Yorkshire thing. We've got tough old nanas. She's amazing, my grandma, incredible woman. She's strong, though, and by that we mean a bit of a dick. Like, absolutely incredible. If you want to picture my gran, by the way, she's about 3 foot tall and the same wide. Right, so basically Gimli from Lord of the Rings, right? Yeah, slightly longer beard, same accent. That's my gran, right? And look, she's an incredible woman, but she's very tough. She doesn't take any shit, and if she wants something, she goes and she makes it happen. And because of that, she is responsible for what is possibly the worst thing I've ever done in me fucking life. And sod it, let's tell you this story. Now, by the way, I won't be accepting any complaints about this story. This happened when I was 8. Take your complaints to me fucking nan. Yeah? And I'll be honest, if you want to make one, I'd do it fucking quick. She's 92. So... Now, what happened was, she used to take me swimming every week. It was a lovely little thing we did together. She'd go and sit in the cafe with all the mums and the grands. I'd go for a splash about with my mates. I've got loads of beautiful memories of it, except for this one week, when we pulled up into the car park, only to discover that there weren't any parking spaces left. Well, at least not for us, anyway. But that wasn't going to stop my gran. She looked up at the one remaining disabled parking space and then looked back at me and said, when we get out, you're going to have to act disabled. Right? Now think about that as a thing to say to an 8-year-old child? Because even at 8, I knew that was a fucked up thing to do. I knew it was not okay to pretend to be disabled to get better parking. But I was 8 years old. It's my grandma. I didn't have the emotional intelligence to tell her what I was thinking. Because what I was actually thinking was, out of the two of us, why the fuck's it gotta be me? Well, I'm a perfectly healthy 8-year-old boy. If you want people to think you're disabled, walk like you normally do. Like, even at the best of times, my gran looks like she's 3 seconds from shitting herself. Right? One of those will be fucking golden. No one's checking your blue badge when you look like a dog that's on its way to get put down. But I couldn't say that, could I? It's my grandmama, the love of my life. So what I actually said was, when you say, act disabled, what do you mean? Now, I promise you I have not edited this response in any way, shape or form. I didn't need to. It was already fucking mental. She turned to me so casually, so calm, with a little shrug and just went, I don't know, a limp and a claw. A limp and a claw, end of instructions. That was all of it. That's all she gave me to work with. And I don't know what level of dramatic expertise she was expecting from 8-year-old me. But my only previous role as a thespian up to that point had been walking into an inn and saying, I have brought the gift of frankincense. Right? I wasn't really ready to be Daniel Day-Lewis in my left foot. But it's my grandma. I couldn't let her down, could I? So when we got out, I was so nervous, I was so embarrassed, I was so scared. I just did the tiniest little limp that I thought I could get away with. Tiny, subtle little limp. And then I did a claw. I did a claw like this because apparently at 8, I thought crab person was a type of disability. And my gran looked at me panicked, because I don't currently look disabled. I mean, at least not in the body, maybe the fucking brain, right? She looks at me panicked and goes, no, a claw. And I was like, oh, a claw. But the problem is, this has already fucking started, hasn't it? So now I've got to make this look like it's part of me fucking condition. So every few paces, my little claw's just got to fuck off over there. I've got my little limp. I've got my flappy little claw. And this isn't enough for my gran. She is panicking properly at this point. She is not buying what I am selling. She went deathly white and she started shaking twice as much as she normally did. Ironically, the worse I am at looking disabled, the more fucking disabled she started looking. It got to a point where she was shaking so badly, she tried to walk across to me to give me some instructions, but she didn't walk at this point. She moved in the same way a tumble dryer moves across a utility room, just... She shuffled all the way across to me to deliver this instruction, right? The extra instruction she had for me, she leant down into my ear and all she whispered was, more. Right? Think about all the instructions I had up to that point to work with. A limp, a claw, more. That's it. That's all I fucking had. So I'm not proud of what I did next, but I did what was needed to be done. I took a decision in that moment I was going to be the most disabled boy this swimming pool had ever seen. I was going to make it look like I was going in there to swim with dolphins and John Cena for my fucking Make-A-Wish. Yeah. And the way I decided to do that was to take my existing limp and make it fucking massive. Massive limp on this side. If you're wondering, did I stop at one limp? No, double limp. Biggest limp you've ever seen in your fucking life on both sides. Oh, and don't worry, this guy's still fucking happening. He's still fucking off over there. Other arm joined in, double flappy claws as well. Basically, the disability I went for was the fucking YMCA. I was flapping all across this fucking car park, and look, it might have been fine. I might have got away with it if I'd stopped there, but fuck me, I wish I didn't make a face. Do you want to know which face I made? Same one you make when you take 3 E's at the same time is the one I went for. You know, the face. Jaw straight out, swinging all over the place, eyes swivelling, and just to sell the whole effect, a little Susanna dribble down the chin, just to really make it all sell together. Fuck, I wish it had been silent. Really wish I'd not made that noise. Do you want to know which noise I made? The sound of Chewbacca getting fisted. That's the one that I went for. I threw it all together into... I was honking and waddling across this car park like someone had rammed a taser 6 inches up my arsehole. I was flailing all over the place, dribbles flying everywhere. I'm leaving a fucking snail trail behind me as I go. And all I could think as I'm doing this is, please, please, God, let there not be anyone genuinely disabled in this car park today. And don't worry, that's not where we're going, don't panic. But like, you know what, looking back on it, if there had been someone disabled there that day, might not have been the worst thing in the world, you know? Might have actually been a positive thing. Because I was that fucked up that afternoon, I reckon even the most top-tier disabled person on earth would have looked at me and gone, at least I'm not that guy. Might have been nice. Might have been a bit of a morale booster. So I flailed my way across this car park, flinging my spitting limbs wherever I went. I got all the way up to the front doors, which thankfully weren't far away. That parking space was fucking convenient, fair play. I get to the front doors of the swimming baths. As soon as the automatic doors opened, my gran turned to me and went, very good. And then she said, you can stop now. And no, I fucking couldn't, could I? Everyone's just watched me come across this car park with every fictional disability I could think of. I can't just suddenly be okay, can I? I can't just immediately be fine like some 4-foot Kaiser Soze. Right, there's gonna have to be some transitional phase in the middle. I can't wander in like, what time's the slide open, Gran? Like... Because imagine if someone saw the security footage. They'd think a miracle had occurred. People had come from miles around to bathe in the healing waters of Knaresborough swimming pool. So I stayed in character. I went full method for an hour and a half at a fun session, no less. I committed to the fucking role. All my mates are having a great time. They're playing with the toys and the inflatable, having an amazing time. And all I could do was sit on me fucking float, pushing myself around with me claws, occasionally remembering I made a noise like, oh yeah. Ah! And the irony of it all was that they wouldn't let me onto the inflatable pirate ship because I had a hook for me fucking hand. And what I didn't remember as well was I went swimming there every fucking week. Yeah, and that made a fucking impression. So I stayed in character for the next 6.5 fucking years. Yeah, I got fucking good at it. They built me a ramp and won a Pride of Britain Awards. I don't know, like nowadays I don't do anything anymore, I just sit at home on the internet. I'm worried about Twitter going, I hope it doesn't, I love Twitter. I'm addicted to the opinions of cunts, basically, that's why I love it. It's my favourite fucking thing. Like, I love incels, they're my favourite, people who are angry because women aren't fucking them, it's amazing. Like, I read a thread by one recently, this is how much they're grasping for reasons that women have it better than men. He went, right, here's something to explain if women don't have it better than men. How come there's such a double standard and stigma around male sex toys? And I was like, all right, crack on. Well, he goes, right, how come it's different, right? Because when a woman buys a sex toy, it's beautiful and empowering and brave. But if a man buys one, it's dirty and disgusting and shameful. What's the difference? Well, fellas, the difference is we fill them full of cum. That's the difference, isn't it? It's all the cum. That's what makes it gross. Because I don't know if you've ever seen a single man's bedroom, but they are not fucking cleaning that shit. No, if you've not washed your bed sheets for 6 months, there is zero chance that fleshlight has seen a fucking dishwasher. Yeah, there are men around the world growing clones of themselves underneath their beds as we fucking speak. And the difference is, even the most disgusting woman on the planet will occasionally wipe down a dildo to remove the crust. Well, here's how you can tell how different they are. Look at the way they're sold. Women have parties to sell each other sex toys. That blows my mind, but fuck me, am I jealous. It looks a right laugh. Like, come round Friday, girls. I've got Prosecco on ice. Got a new range of fanny hammers to show you. Oh my God, we'll have such a good time. We'll try them all out. Don't worry, Sharon, we got a big one for you, you fucking slag. Looks all right, giggle. But fellas, can you imagine if one of your male friends invited you round to look at rubber vaginas? Right? You'd want him in a fucking mental hospital. Like, what would we be doing? All sat round like, hey, Barry, put it on your nose. Feel how good it is. Oh, lovely. Oh, it's Bob on that. Oh, lovely. Oh, look. Oh, fucking hell, there's a button on it. What'd that do? Fuck me. Look at that shit go. Oh, look, this one looks like an anus. That's nice, isn't it? Look, this one's got rubber teeth for some fucking reason. I don't know. Look, I will concede one minor point. I do think it's fair to say that some of women's sex toys are grosser than some of men's. I think that's fair enough, because, look, women like to talk about objectification, but what's more objectifying than your average vibrator? You know, just a smooth, rubber, severed, robotic dick. That's the most objectified you can be. But yet women will scorn a man for spending £20,000 on a life-size, full-body silicone sex doll. That's so much better. It's a whole fake human, not just the genitals. You can give it a personality and a backstory. It's nice, isn't it? Isn't it? Mine's called Katerina. She's a tennis coach, but I can't afford to pay for my lessons. Doesn't fit in the dishwasher, though. She's starting to smell. No, look, right, I do think women could do with a little more shame about their sex toys, just a tiny bit. Because, look, I know women like to propagate the myth that every time they masturbate, some beautiful romantic event like you're sprinkling rose petals on the bed before you do it. But that is bullshit. I've seen the equipment you're using. It's fucking industrial. There's nothing romantic about shagging yourself with a fucking cement mixer. And my missus has a vibrator called a body massager. It's the size of a fucking baseball bat. I'm terrified of it. Looks like it should have a rip pull to get it going, like... Honestly, she's got forearms like Popeye from holding on to the fucker. Right, and she'll use that, and then afterwards have the audacity to be like, well, why can't you make me come? 'Cause it's dead. You fucking killed it. You put 100,000 RPM up your chuff. How can I compete? I think that's why women are arrogant about how good they are in bed. All you've got to compete with is my hand. That's the least sexy thing I can think of. I've got to go up against NASA-designed space-age mining technology. You can fuck off. And women are arrogant. They're like, oh, my God, I'm going to rock your world. You best find my clit, because I'm going to rock your world. You best find my clit. They'll say stuff like that, and then they'll finger your ass like they're trying to dig an escape tunnel out of it. Look, fellas, I am joking about most of this. I need to speak to the men in the room. Look, we can't make vibrators our enemy. We can't. They're too powerful. They will defeat us easily, right? We have to accept that they are our friends and our allies now. It's all right. It's not embarrassing. It happens to all of us. Every now and again, you got to tag out and bring in a finisher. It's okay. To be honest, though, I do get bored of hearing the same arguments over and over again. That's a fucking issue, innit? We're just going round in circles. Like, how has trans people become the biggest argument on the fucking planet? How did that even happen? I don't know about you. I've met like 5 ever. It's not like a massive problem in my life. It's not like when I go home tonight, I'll open a cupboard and trans people will fall out. Like, fucking hell, they're in the walls again. Get the traps. It's not that big a deal, is it? Like, it's always the same few fucking arguments we've got to have over and over again. One of my mates is too much into this sort of shit, and he goes like, Rob, what do you think about trans teenagers getting given hormones? I was like, mate, I already look like every photo fit of a paedophile, right? I try and have as few opinions about teenagers' hormones as fucking possible. But he goes, no, here's why it's important. 20% of under 18s who get given hormones to help them transition later regret that they did that. What do you think about them? And to be honest, I'd never thought about that before. It was news to me, so I did have a long think about it. I had a real long think about it, and what I think about those 20% is, fuck them. Yeah. Who gives a shit? I think they've just learnt a valuable lesson about being sure before you commit. Yeah, I'd say if you're going to head off down a path that ends with you not being cut off, maybe be fucking sure before you sign up. Because, look, there's a lot of things in life I'm uncertain about, but whether or not I'd like my genitals attached is not fucking one of them, to be honest with you. Like, it's just not that big a deal, is it? It's only hormones. It's not like if they make the wrong choice, they put a curtain round them and shoot them like they fell in the National. Like, all hormones affect is how hairy you are and how often you cry. It's not that big a deal. Like, what's the worst case scenario? There's going to be some, like, 22-year-old lad who thought he was called Stephanie when he was 14, so now he's got puffy little tits from taking the wrong drugs. It's like, mate, I'm 34 and I eat too much cheese. I've got puffy little tits. Welcome to your fucking future, cunt. It's always that and the toilets as well, innit? Always going on about where trans people are shitting. That fucking does my head in. Only ever the women's, though, innit? It's only ever the women's toilets we're arguing about. Because the argument they always make is they're like, right, we can't let trans women into the women's toilets because what happens if a man dresses up as a trans woman in order to attack women in the toilets? Ooh. Well, here's the scoop on that. If you want to attack someone in a public toilet, you don't need to Mrs. Doubtfire yourself first, do you? It's a public toilet. What security are you expecting? Just fucking walk in. I mean, don't, but you could. There's fuck all to stop you. Because, like, how are they even planning on enforcing that ban? If they do ban trans people from toilets, you're not going to put a security guard on every single public toilet checking if someone's got a cock or bollocks, just giving them a little way up like, don't worry, darling, this is for your own safety. I'm just checking. It's not going to happen. At best, they're going to put up a little sign that says no trans people. And what is that going to do for the people you actually want to keep out? Because I don't know if you know a lot about rapists, but traditionally not great at following instructions. Yeah, like, who's going to be going in like, oh, off to do a sex crime? Ooh. Oh, not for me. Off I go. Off to do some open mic comedy instead. There's a lot of them about. I don't know. It is only ever the women's. Like, I don't know about the rest of the fellas. Like, I don't have any worry about trans men, really. Like, I'd fucking love a trans fella in our toilets. If there's any in here and you want to talk, come with me. I'll show you around the gents. We'll have a lovely time. I'll be like, welcome on in, fella. Don't mind the puddle on the floor. It's all a fucking puddle. Just splash your way in. What you want to do, stand about 6 to 8 metres from the nearest urinal. Just whip that new knob out and spray it in any fucking direction you want, mate. All over the place. Let them know you've been here. Mark your territory. That's what we've all been doing. Then on your way out, after you've had a piss, what do you do next? No, not wash your hands. Get out there and start touching things, fella. Off your fucking crack. Be nice. But I don't get why there is that double standard, because like I say, I don't think there's any genuine threat to women from trans women in their toilets, but men, we do have something to worry about from trans men in ours. Well, I do, at least anyway. Embarrassment. Yeah, because I know for a fact that every single post-op trans man on the planet has a bigger dick than me. Yeah, because look, mine's fine, but it's not the one you pick out of a catalogue. Look, these are fellas who get to choose their own penis. Do you think they're showing restraint? No. If I had to wait 30 years to get my knob, I'd want one that could sink the fucking Titanic. Well, I reckon a good 50% of the job of being a sex change surgeon's looking at people's designs and going, fucking hell, no! If you put that in someone, they'd die! Christ, there's only so much skin on your arm! No, it can't have a fucking penknife. Just sit at home with the missus nowadays. I'm pretty boring, to be honest with you. Got a very good life, but, you know, we do have issues. Like, I think she's fucking bored of me, right? And the reason I think that is because she keeps asking me questions she can't possibly want to know the answer to, really. Like, recently, she gave me a little nudge while we were watching the telly and just went, oh, I've got a little question for you. A little cheeky one. Tell me this. When you are having a wank, do you ever think about me? Fucking no! Not even once, are you mental? I've got a functioning imagination and an internet connection. What are you on about? Because don't get me wrong, my girlfriend is beautiful and sexy and amazing, but there are women on the internet who are all of those things but have no self-esteem. I'm watching them. Of course I am, because I'm normal. I genuinely think if your partner masturbates to the thought of you, you should fucking leave him. It's creepy, innit? Have a wank over a troubled stranger like the rest of us. Like, come on. Like, basically, the reason that I don't have a wank over my missus is the same reason I don't go on holiday to my living room, right? No, I love my living room. It's very comfortable there. I've had some wonderful evenings in my living room, but I'm not excited to visit it. I'm not spending my nights dreaming about sitting downstairs on my sofa. No, I'd much rather be in Barbados fucking a twink. So... here's the thing, I just don't get it. I don't get why she wants to be in my fantasies. I don't understand it. She's already in my real life. It's so much nicer there than in my fantasies. Like, in our real life, we go on lovely little dates, we take walks at sunset, and I'm adorable to her mother. It's so sweet. There are things in my fantasies that scare me, right? And I can tell you for a fact, I'm not being adorable to her mother. Oh, like a fine wine. No, I'm joking. She's fucking gross. No, also joking. Also joking. Want to make that very fucking clear. No, if I'm honest with you, my actual deepest, darkest fantasy involves 20 women of different ethnicities, and all of them are crying for a different reason. Yeah. If I'm going to get my girlfriend involved, we're essentially just making it 21. Well, I just don't think I can have a fantasy about her. I don't think I can. We've been together too long. And I think in order to have a fantasy, you need a little bit of mystery, don't you? You need a little gap in the knowledge for the imagination to fill in. We've lived together for 7 years. There's no fucking mystery left. Like, what did she imagine was going to happen? Like, best case scenario, when she asked me that, like, come on then, do you ever think about me? Like, I'm like, oh yeah, I do, right? I'll tell you what I do is, right? Seconds after you've just pushed my hand off your ass because you can't be bothered, what I do is I go, ooh, I know who I'm off to think about. Go lock myself in the bathroom, pop my phone over there. Won't be needing that, even though it contains all the pornography ever made. No. Won't be needing that. I've got this bad boy tonight. Well, what I do is, right, I just get myself ready, then I just imagine, right, you've just come home from work and you're looking so sweaty and angry because the bus was overcrowded. Just the way I like you, baby, so hot. And then you give me that look. There's an electricity in those eyes. And you say to me, babe, I'm going to go get changed into something a little more comfortable. And I know what you're saying. So I'll wait for you on the sofa, I'll wait for you to come down in those Winnie the Pooh pajamas. You know the ones I like, baby, the ones with the coffee stain down the left titty. You know Daddy loves those coffee-stained boobies. Bring them over to me. Bring Eeyore and Tigger too. Let's have some bouncy, 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 fun, 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 fun. Come snuggle up close, baby. Let's set the mood. Let's turn it up a notch by watching 4.5 hours of Come Dine With Me repeats. Ooh. Yeah, we're getting sexy as we watch Susan grossly undermark a perfectly good souffle. Ooh, a 6 for that. Susan, you fucking bitch. And then finally, this tension's been rising. You could cut it with a knife. And you turn to me and say those magic little words I've been waiting to hear. You say, babe, I'm knackered. I'll see you up there. Ho, ho, ho! It's go time. So I'll wait for you in bed, baby. Don't you worry, I'll keep the bed warm. You take all the time you need in the bathroom. You do everything you need to in there. That curry was fucking spicy. You take all the time you need. I'm gonna lie here and pretend I can't hear and smell everything that's happening through that thin, thin wall. It's all good, baby. You empty yourself out before I fill you back up. Now come into this bedroom. Let's light a candle. Let's maybe light a scented candle, right? Can we open a window or something? It's stinging me fucking eyes. Right, I can't see. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said anything. You're right, we still got the mood. It's okay, I'm sorry, I've not ruined it. Okay, I have ruined it, we'll get it back. It's okay. Lie down here and I'll softly stroke you. We'll get that mood back. I'll softly stroke you and then I'll slowly run my hand up your unshaven calf. Ooh, it's so prickly and sexy like a fuckable hedgehog. God damn. Daddy's getting friction burns tonight. Vroom, vroom. Then I get all the way to the top of your hip, I run my hand around, and then you slap it away and tell me to fuck off for a wank because you can't be arsed. Which, if you remember, is why I'm here in the bastard first place. It's not a fantasy if it's your actual shit in life, is it? And by the way, look, right, I'm not judging her for any of this. I want to make this very fucking clear. No, this is just how it goes in a long relationship. And look, I'm very lucky to have her. That is fair. Not only is she much smarter than me, it's also fair to say she's doing a lot of the heavy lifting in the looks department of our relationship. Because, look, I can make myself look semi-human in clothes, but rest assured, underneath here is a fucking horror show. Honestly, me naked looks like someone dropped fish bones into congealed milk. It's fucked. True fact about myself, at the same time, I have both acne and psoriasis, right? Think about that. I am greasy and flaky at the same time. How is that medically possible? They're fucking opposites. Greasy and flaky. My body is essentially a sausage roll, right? A vegetarian sausage roll. So I'm not saying I'm better than her. I'm definitely not. But what I am saying is the difference between me and her is I'm not arrogant enough to assume that whilst I'm here tonight, she's at home with her body massager, firing it up like, oh, I fucking wish Rob was there. Oh, I'd lick the greasy flakes off his back. Nah, she's probably just looking at fellas who've got big dicks and that. That's what I'd be doing. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being here. I've been Rob Mulholland. Enjoy your night. Cheers.
You ready for comedy? Say I was born ready. I was born ready. It's integral to everything that comes after this that you say I was born ready. If you're ready for comedy, say I was born ready.
I was born ready.
That's funny. I was born £9 3 ounces. Bang, we're off. All right.